Modi is a party of interest. And I tell you the truth, come out openly to say that Paul Biya is his candidate. They will ask a question right now.
No, that congratulations for the...
No! When you say congratulations for his 42 years in power, what are you saying? You are indirectly saying that he is my candidate.
Wishing him well.
No! There are things I will not do, okay?
It's quite funny, though I'm laughing.
If you see me talk to CPDM, I talk the same to SDF. I talk the same to the non-state armed groups. Why? Because I have to be who I am, and who I am. I am a member of the Cameroon Civil Society and a human rights defender who defends all without taking sides. If we say that Clement Atangana erred, we are saying that Clement Atangana, for no reason, was supposed to make such statement that he made. Okay. How would you say you appreciate Paul Biya's 42 years in power? And this is the same person we expected to pronounce the incapacity of the president as which many was looking at. But if Clement Atangana, for example, is placed in a position to declare vacancy at the presidency with this outing, Clement Atangana will not be the one to declare it.
Okay. All right.
So it is time for Cameroonians to see that the Constitution, on the aspect of the Constitutional Council, it should be a people that should be chosen by the people, and if for any reason they are found operating on a partisan line, they should be removed.
Okay. Moving away from that situation, let's make a stopover now to Limbe with the Sun for this morning report on the BRICS nations. We have the BRICS. It says BRICS and the end of the dollar dominance, a new economic order or global gamble. That's a question the son of Nobel Wasu is asking for this morning.
Now, let me tell Nobel and the son, this is the fact, right? If you go to George Marshall and Henry Truman, George Marshall was the Secretary of State of the United States of America. Henry Truman was the president, for those who do not know. Now, when America decided not to take part in the World War, rather they brought their 14 points. In one of these, when they sought out a way to now reconstruct Europe, the agreement they had was that the dollar is going to be the world currency, that you are going to buy using the dollar. And by so doing, they understood exactly how the dollar is going to receive its boost. Now, one of the things Europe told America is this: you are going to allow us manage the countries that we have been managing for this while physically to now go in with our currencies. But we are going to use the dollar when we want to buy. So when we are measuring the market, it will be by the dollar. But when we are operating within our own sphere, it will be by our own local currency. And this is why, as the paper asks, is it gambling or change or time for change?
The end of the dollar dominance.
You cannot talk about the end of the dollar dominance when the United States of America is still the police of the world. No.
And not forgetting the recoming up all the Henri Truman
of a
former USSR who used to be a superpower, because back then we had two of them, the USSR, now Russia, and the United States of America.
Yes, you understand.
With Putin, showcasing himself as someone who is like coming to...
Putin is part of the BRICS.
Sure.
Russia is part of the BRICS. But if you observe, South Africa is part of the BRICS. But if you observe, at one point in time, Putin said it was going to be my rubble. Carried out his special military operation when he moved
to Crimea
into a full-scale special military operation in Ukraine. This is what he said. That, okay, going forward, my rubble is going to be what I'll have to use, because I've observed that there is a ban on certain Russian products. But coming back to the aspect of the BRICS, the BRICS is not going to become the world currency as being set there. Of course, it's a question. Is it gambling? It's some kind of gambling. It's some kind of what we call the struggle to balance power. The USSR is never going to be there anymore, okay? The United States succeeded to bring in countries. The last country that was brought in with the state of Hawaii that was brought in the United amongst the states of the US. Now, this is what it is. So it will be difficult to have countries like the BRICS country to dominate, because the Europeans, they will not accept it.
Okay.
The United States will not accept it.
Okay.
Canada will not accept it.
Okay.
Australia will not accept it. And many other countries that I could list, they will not accept it. Rather, many countries in Europe are struggling to become EU member countries. And those currency in the sense that if Europe should accept that, if EU member countries should accept that, let us take all the other countries who are struggling to be part of us, it will be very difficult for you to have countries like Russia take a currency across the world.
All right, Lucas, let's talk about out of the studio with the last paper for today. That's The Guardian. The Guardian from Lagos report on 2027 presidential elections in Nigeria. Goodluck Jonathan, Peter Obi, Kwankwaso names resounds in the political jostling intensifies as Nigerians are complaining. Just barely 2 years, the stay in office of Jagabans, that is Bola Ahmed, Asiwaju Tinubu. So we have those names that are resounding. Goodluck Jonathan, Peter Obi, Kwankwaso. That's it says 2027 is going to be either any of them. When we see the economic hardship and the rate of inflation, the devaluation of the naira.
Bola Ahmed, Asiwaju Tinubu, who is the president of Nigeria, did not ascend to the Supreme Magistracy of Nigeria because he wants to manage the country. He felt like it was now my own turn.
As he said.
As he said,
it's my time.
It's my time. Okay. And now, how can this become someone's campaign policy? That is my time. His campaign manager did not present to Nigerians his manifesto. His campaign manager did not present to Nigeria his developmental plans. All many Nigerians hated him for at the time was he was the one who built Lagos. But a single man cannot build Lagos. You should not be deceived. Okay?
It's a collective effort.
It was a collective effort. But in his government, he doesn't have some of the people who took part in building Lagos. So he cannot say that he will build Nigeria the way he built Lagos.
Okay.
If you look at some of the people Tinubu had while he was the governor of Lagos, you will see it. That these are not the same people he now has in Aso Rock. It is not the same people he has in managing Nigeria. So he cannot build Nigeria like he built Lagos. Now, if you hear the names like Goodluck Jonathan Ebere coming back, it is because he is the only Nigerian president in recent time who said, over my dead body should I be the one through whom sin will come into Nigeria for people to shed blood. Become 15 to say that no. Buhari, you did not win, I won. And had it been Goodluck Jonathan Ebere refused the elections or the result, I tell you the truth, Nigeria would have been in a very terrible state. But because he took his statesmanship and said, let it go. I've been only for 4 years. If he decide twist and 8, let it be 8. And this is how he to allow peace to reign. And Nigerians are seeing his vacuum. Because don't forget that at the time he was vice president, he was vice president of Omar Musa Yar'Adua, whom I remember the day he died. I was actually going down to Tiko, and then I learned of his death around police college. I wept. To be honest, I wept. Yes, because I admired him a lot. Yes. Now, you see that Goodluck Jonathan at the time managed the country well. I am not doing this publicity. Lest you misunderstand me here, please.
And he made Nigeria to become Africa's biggest economy.
Great.
Overthrow South Africa's position that has been South Africa
for many years.
For the very first time.
For many years. He was the one who did that. Goodluck Jonathan Ebere. So this is why Nigerians are saying, oh, it would appear we need to give it back to Goodluck. But you see, with the coming of Peter Obi in the time of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it will be a bit difficult this time around for Goodluck Jonathan, because they are going to divide the vote significantly. They will divide it.
And both of them, they hails from the south part of Nigeria.
So I think that they will rather make a better coalition. There will be a good government to Nigerians, because if you put persons like Peter Obi, who has already some good plans, okay, and you bring now someone like Goodluck Jonathan Ebere, come on.
And Kwankwaso, who is from the north, from Kano.
Though Kwankwaso is coming from Kano, but he resonates a lot with people from the east. Yes. So it will be a better government in place, provided they should sit and see how they can effectively divide the government. Maybe one can become a vice president, one can become justice minister, one can become president. I mean,
you are forecasting a tough elections for 2027?
No, 2027 in Nigeria is going to be tougher.
For Tinubu?
No. As for Tinubu, he will be taken off the house. He will be living as well.
Never say never.
No. I am telling you, he only said it was his time, and some people supported it because they felt like, okay, there is a lot that he knows. There are people who ensured that Tinubu won the election because Tinubu had made them. And they know that if Tinubu should pull the cord or the string.
Even the outgoing president, Tinubu told him,
I made you. I made you.
So it's quite an interesting gentleman.
Yeah, but but when you look at Goodluck Jonathan Ebere, you look at Peter Obi,
and Kwankwaso.
You look at Kwankwaso. These are people who are not made by Tinubu. So Tinubu cannot stand them. If I were them, we would simply take the government and remove Tinubu, and then in subsequent year we start dividing the government. That is, I should be for the first 4 years, I'll be a gentleman, because I know if they accept that Goodluck Jonathan Ebere should be, he's a gentleman, he will accept that in the next 4 years he will give it to Peter Obi, and Peter Obi will give it to Kwankwaso in the subsequent years.
Okay.
Yes. So for 12 years, if they have good plans, they'll manage the country. And this is similar to Cameroon. This is what I told some politicians. I explained to them that rather than fighting over a man who has actually set a lot of people into the nooks and crannies, who know how to falsify election results at particular times, I was live in my 16. If we did not stand, I tell you the truth, we know who they wanted to win within that particular area. So I'm telling you out of experience, because I was there actively, I voted actively during that year. I can tell you better. We saw the situation. But now what I am saying is this is similar to Cameroon. Rather than fighting, those who pride themselves as the biggest opposition political party in Cameroon, have a government, have a coalition government. It's easier. Someone can go to the parliament, someone could go to the Senate, someone could take Minister of Justice. We can institute the vice president position, now be active. Someone can take it. Institute an elected position of the prime